All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a game and a matchup between HoT versus SGFred. Well, this is going to be very confusing because over here on the bottom left-hand side of the map, we have HoT spawning as the blue Night Elf. Meanwhile, over here on the top right-hand side of the map, we have SGFred spawning as a different shade of blue Orc. So this is Orc versus Night Elf in this 1v1 matchup. Is Nork versus Orc matchup Umba at the moment? Well, we'll, we'll take a look and see how everything unfolds here. Night Elf having a bit well, we'll see. We'll see. Mass archers seemingly being able to deal a lot of damage and being very effective against Orc. But then again, this is one of those situations where once the meta is finally really established, then you can start making judgments and assessments on the overall game because of how the game is being played. Well, players are opting to use different particular strategies, and by using those different strategies, maybe the Orc answer to all of this archer and tier 1 strategies would actually be found. Sometimes it feels like, you know what, a particular strategy is too strong and needs to be nerfed and needs to be addressed. It's just too good, everyone uses it. And then, well, it'll seemingly 2-3 months later, people find ways to deal with it and are able to play against it. Yeah, there may be a slight advantage, 53% win rate versus 47, but at trying to balance a 4-race real-time strategy game, you cannot make that any more balanced without possibly disrupting the other three matchups, and that is always going to be the case. That is one of the reasons why it is so difficult to try and balance these games. Okay, why is it? Oh, okay, apparently. Okay, I need to pause this. Yeah, because the heroes are then on the wrong side. So. Okay, there we go. Okay, now go back off to the north. Nope. You're kidding me. I can't. Come on. Okay, the heroes. Okay, so I actually have to use. Alright, this is going to be confusing. Alright. The overlay not working quite right. Orc heroes are on the top left. Night Elf heroes are on the top right. Fred's bar is on the top right. And HoT's bar is on the top left. Yeah, trying to. Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know. I know that right now. Anyways, let's get back into this game. Farseer going to go ahead and get a little bit of harassment here. Spirit Wolf's trying to chase after that archer, not going to be able to do that as the Farseer now looking to back up. All right, pressure being pushed down there. However, a quick detonation from the Wisp taking down those units as we see a resummoning of those Spirit Wolves. Force of Nature going to take a little bit of damage once more as Keeper of the Grove and the Farseer battling back and forth. Keeper of the Grove now chasing after those Spirit Wolves there as they are now making their way back. It looks like it is going to be a headhunter strategy as the War Mill has been added in as well. And we should be looking at, well, what additional units can be trained. Archers are going to get added up here in just a second. Farseer now looking to back up once more. All right, Keeper of the Grove looking to make its way down over here to the bottom left. Well, we see Murloc Tide Runners now making their rounds out as well as the Farseer are going to go ahead and clear up the remainder of these units down to the south. Mass Headhunter is going to be able to do a lot of poking, and it makes sense as the Farseer with those Spirit Wolves does create somewhat of a front line that can be effective. Dropping of an item sentry wards right there as the Farseer perhaps going to be able to place them down and be able to keep track of the major portions of the map here on Northern Isle. All right, more Headhunter action coming across on the far side here. Farseer going to clear up the remaining of the Murloc creep camp here. A little bit of a slower overall creep pattern, but does finally get to level 2. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 2 already. Gonna go ahead and add in some Forces of Nature, and both sides massing up tier 1 range units while choosing a hero that can create a front line in the Spirit Wolves and these Ents. Alright, a little bit of damage right there. Archer gonna try and get away, but ends up, well, breaking Shadow Meld rather quickly. We're taking a look. Ice Troll Warlord down to 217 hit points. Who's gonna end up getting that damage, as more and more damage just getting absorbed by that Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove now down to 223 hit points. Who's going to get that bit of experience? And it looks like Chain Lightning picks up the Mana Stone, and Fred gets that first item there. Meanwhile, an Entangle onto that Forest Troll Berserker. Who's going to get that get that kill? Is the Farseer going to get it? Yes, he does. And he's going to finish off the remainder of this creep camp. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. A little bit of issues, technical issues with the overlays and everything else. And, well, I guess also the overall color selection from the players, as the players decided to go blue versus blue here on Northern Isle. I didn't think anyone control me anymore on an ice map. And, well, now you have HoT and Fred doing it just a little bit more. Not that they're trolling me in particular. They didn't know I was going to be casting this game. Keeper of the Grove gets up to level 3. Chain Lightning, however, Keeper of the Grove, because of that level, gets enough right there, as we are now looking at level 3. All right, there goes an Ensnare. Units trying to make their way and around again. Tuskar Trapper will get taken down. Farseer could get to level 3. Does get to level 3 right there, as a couple of Wisps are going to end up getting cleared out as well. There's a detonation instead. We are looking at a Panda as the second hero coming in from HoT. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire most likely will be cast across all of those Headhunters, as Breath of Fire is extremely effective. There's that Breath of Fire going after all of those units there. Wisp trying to help break free right there. That's going to be rather difficult. There goes an Ensnare. Spirit Wolf is right in position. Are we going to see a Chain Lightning? Yes, you are. And down goes that one Panda, as the Keeper of the Grove is still back out trying to go after some of those other units. All right, a little bit of damage being poked across every which way. Keeper of the Grove going to finish off one of those Headhunters without a problem, and perhaps get a strangle finish on another one right there, as Fred going to lose another Headhunter again. Meanwhile, backing away, Tauren Chieftain now out onto the battlefield, going to finish off one Archer. More Entangles coming down, as that Headhunter, well, low on hit points, and will just get strangled to death, it appears, and, well, perhaps denied. Alright, Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 3, getting closer to 4. Farseer looking to put pressure down as well. Archers standing next to their Moonwells should be able to constantly heal back up again. Keeper and Tier 1 Night Elves used to be all the rage. 1.8, 1.29. Well, was it? Keeper and Tier 1 Night Elves, well, now back to 1.31, I guess. And meanwhile, back off to the north, Tauren Chieftain perhaps going to be able to lay down a couple of stomps here in just a moment. Headhunters needing to finish off the remainder of creep camp, as the Tauren Chieftain wants to get to level 2. Headhunters backing up. 1.28, 1.29 was very, very old. It's often difficult to try and even remember back that far. I thought it was still all about the Demon Hunter shutting down. And then, yeah, the last few 1 to 2 years and patches. No, 1.31. Well, Tauren Chieftain coming in with a stomp. This could be bad news for that Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove gets off a dying Entangle, perhaps, as that Headhunter gets finished off there. Keeper of the Grove teleporting back out. It's more than a couple of, it has to be more than a couple of years. More than 2 or 3 years. It feels like more like 5 to 7 years since 1.29. Really made their way out. Anyways, let's make our way back down across Null Brood going to get finished off. Null Assassins going to be coming into play as well. Tauren Chieftain does get to level 2. Perhaps I'm just forgetting which patch notes had what. Alright. Brewmaster, Keeper of the Grove, level 3, level 1. The Brewmaster going to go ahead and finish off the Ogre Warriors, finish off a couple of Trolls, as the units are now looking to make backing away again. 5 years, not even. 1.29 was Road to Strackhelm and Tearful Glades. Really? I don't know, it feels longer than that. It felt like there were no patches for quite some time, and then all of a sudden, as Reforged came out, a lot more were being brought back over. All right, Keeper of the Grove getting finished off again as the Farseer sits at level 3 on the cusp of level 4. Tauren Chieftain trying to trace after all of these units. We could have a purge onto a one archer there, which ends up slowing down another archer. That archer ends up, well, trying to shadow melt at exactly the wrong time. 1.29 was 3 years ago. Okay. Well, 1.29 was 3 years ago. Don't remember all of my patch notes exactly, as the Panda, well, going to finish off couple of quick units right there. So far, still pushing their way through once again. Tauren Chieftain in that front line as the Panda, well, trying to defend the home here, but things are not looking good for HoT at all. Fred is pushing in very heavily as that damage is adding up. Ancient of Lore actually uprooting itself, not going to be the best use at all, as well, it's going to end up taking a lot more piercing damage and magic damage as well. Tauren Chieftain does need to force a back up here as the Panda gets surrounded once more, and HoT is just in serious trouble, unable to get a rejuvenation off. You can see the Druid of the Claw now going out in the bear form, perhaps going to be able to finish off some of those extra, some of those other units, but now taking a lot of damage himself as the units are now trying to back up again. All right, we're looking at, well, the Druid of the Claw about to get taken out. Keeper of the Grove meta, I would have thought Keeper of the Grove meta was about a year and a half ago, not 2+, or yeah, with that sudden shift when all of a sudden Entangle was super powerful. But I don't know, maybe my sense of time is just thrown out the window because of all of this COVID-19 and well, work from home, shelter in place, all of the action here. Ancient of Lore making its way over. Is it end up just going to get taken down very quick? Moonwell trying to get repaired as the Keeper of the Grove is now out here onto the field, able to lead the army. Are we going to see an Entangle? No Entangle, as a quick scroll of Town Portal, and that Shaman may just end up getting taken down, trying to deny a bit of experience. Back off to the north, we are at Fortress. We don't see a third hero coming in from the Orc yet, as well, the Tauren Chieftain and the Farseer are going to try and heal back up. We are looking at an expansion coming in from Fred. Meanwhile, HoT has lost both his Keeper of the Grove and that Panda once so far throughout this matchup, as that Panda is now getting resurrected. Ancient of War is getting shifted back over. 29 supply compared to 41, as HoT is in a little bit of trouble. Headhunters making their way down, and well, Tuskar Trappers all going to get finished off here, as we are going into the Troll Berserkers. Troll Berserkers with their Frenzy able to attack much more quickly. Their attack speed currently just at slow though, since they aren't currently in that Frenzy mode. Mass Berserkers able to deal a large amount of damage as long as they are not themselves taking a lot of damage. A little bit of a glass cannon effect once more, as the Farseer and Tauren Chieftain ready to move on out. Level 2 Stomp, perhaps try and shut down some of those units. Druids of the Claw trying to get a little bit more mana, as the blue army of Orc now making their way inside here. Wisp could get taken down. There's one detonation. There is that Frenzy. There's that fast attack speed all of a sudden, as those Headhunters should be able to attack much more quickly. Focusing down that Druid of the Claw would have been very helpful, as that Druid of the Claw taking so much damage already and now finally taken out. Breath of Fire across multiple units, as the Berserkers, well, shake off that little bit of that Frenzy there and, well, may try and engage again. Panda going to come back across. We're going to see, look, there's a Stomp once more and a little bit of that damage. Entangle onto a Berserker taking a large amount of damage and just basically stuck in place, as we see a Stomp. However, that was Staff of Preservation, as that bear was able to back up again. Druid of the Claw taking a lot more damage again. Mass Headhunters pushing into a lot of pressure onto that Druid of the Claw, and it looks like, wow, that Druid of the Claw will end up, come on, one more shot, taken down. There it goes. However, chasing after those units, causing a little bit of damage across Fred's units as well. All right, coming back across here, and here we are. Keeper of the Grove, Panda now making its way back over. All right, coming back across again. We are looking at Druids of the Claw. Gonna go ahead and heal up once more. As Shaman and all of these units heading back off to the north again. We are looking at Frenzy. Frenzy added in, and this is Frenzy with Bloodlust. If these Berserkers were not attacking quickly before, we are gonna have a Frenzy Bloodlust Shaman here. The Shaman already at tier, already getting purged to try and deal with those units. Are we actually going to be taking a look at Lightning Shield as well as HoT. Well, in a little bit of trouble here as many of his own Druids of the Claw were actually still in Druid form. Are they going to end up getting bursted down before they can get that extra bit of hit points? All right, let's go ahead and continue to fight this way back through. Sorry, no links in chat. As we take a look at the quick Staff of Preservation there. Tauren Chieftain now continuing to battle it up. He is, however, currently purged entangled, as no purge to follow it up there. All right, units are just going to end up falling down here as the Berserkers are attacking with average speed right now. They are still not frenzied at this point. Not quite sure why, as they would be able to finish off many of those units. Finishing off them. There goes another purge, taking down a Druid of the Claw. All right. Meanwhile, coming back around, Tauren Chieftain making its way down as well. Yeah, why no links in chat? Have you seen the... Is this your first day on the internet? Do I really need to answer that question? All right, making their way back off. Generally, channels that allow links on the internet or links in chat have full-time moderators monitoring the chat as well, allowing and not allowing links. All right. I am not a full-time streamer. I don't expect to have a full-time moderator ever, as I still have things I need to do and take care of once the stream ends. Yeah. All right. Druid of the Claw, Keeper of the Grove, Panda Brewmaster now making its way back off to the north here. And, well, Keeper of the Grove backing away so that the Brewmaster can get a little bit more experience. All right. Meanwhile, back down here on the south, Spirit Wolves with Bloodlust was actually dealing a large bit of damage right there. These are the Shadow Wolves attacking very quickly and putting in quite a bit of pressure. Meanwhile, Headhunter is going to continue to battle it up here, and we are now going into Bloodlusted Tauren. All right, Bloodlusted Tauren able to finish off so many of those Ents there. We are finally getting up an Orc Burrow as well to try and offer up a little bit of protection, as HoT does seem to be in trouble. HoT is currently down by 20 supply, doesn't have an expansion up of his own, and, well, he is going to be going up against not only frenzied Berserkers, but Bloodlusted Taurens, who are actually a very, very strong frontline army. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 4, Farseer sitting at level 5 as the units continuing to make their way back as well. There's that Tauren right there getting in a bit of that damage again. All right, units taken down. Meanwhile, the other blue army making its way out across the map. Keeper of the Grove, Panda, now, well, just making a little bit of rounds as the Ents are going to be trying to put in pressure around perhaps the expansion and the main base at the same time. However, Fred using this opportunity, we are looking at, are they frenzied? How fast attack speed between Endurance, Oral, Bloodlust, and Frenzy, able to focus down these units very quickly. What item is going to be dropped? A Medallion of Courage, and the Tauren Chieftain wants to make its way over. Is he going to be able to pick it up? Yes, he does, but he leaves behind the Tome of Intelligence +2 because, well, players do that. All right, Frenzied Berserker, and now making their rounds out. Witch Doctors with Mastery Training, now using Scroll of Speed to try and make their way back over. Tauren now making their way down as well. As you can see, well, this burrow is taking a lot of damage. Goblin Shredder should probably try and do a little bit of repairs or do something, finish off that one Ent. Meanwhile, back down here, Druids of the Claw going to engage as we see it entangle onto that Farseer. Farseer in a little bit of trouble. Will it be able to break free? It ends up breaking free right there. Tauren Chieftain with a well-timed stomp, preventing a little bit of damage as the Spirit Wolves are now back out. Now a Staff of Preservation comes down. All right, Bloodlusted Tauren leading the charge here once more. Farseer trying to get away from everything as well, as the Tauren and the Frenzied Berserkers are still making their rounds out. In come a couple of Dryads who are quickly just going to get taken down there. There goes one. There, well, a second one able to escape at 68 hit points, as the Farseer, well, doubles back all the way around, perhaps to heal up and pick up some items. Night Elf definitely cannot handle this. There is a 30 supply discrepancy between the two armies. Bloodlusted Tauren, even without any upgrades, are dealing a large amount of damage, and the Berserkers themselves also with a large amount of damage. All right, the upgrades are coinciding with the heroes, as the title bar, well, left and right, you guys see what's going on. All right, the Tauren now trying to push their way through. Shadow Wolves in position here, but Fred should be able to take this game from HoT here, as he has a major advantage. Why all blue? That is a question you have to ask the players and their particular reason for selecting this. All right, Staff of Preservation takes the bear panda bear all the way back home, as the panda could be in a little bit of trouble. Are we going to see a stomp there? No stomp there. Breath of Fire coming back, and the main production building of HoT are now starting to fall. 46 supply compared to 68. Who's going to come out on top, as the Ancient of Lore about to fall as well? All right, units, Breath of... well, it looks like the expansion will end up falling here in just a moment. Keeper of the Grove does not have a Scroll of Town Portal, has no way to really save any of this, as healing wards are now being dropped down as well. Blue is, in fact, a beautiful color, one of my favorite colors indeed. However, well, to distinguish two armies with the same color, blue versus blue, can be rather difficult. Tauren getting healed up rather nicely by those healing wards, as we're going to be looking at the Tauren Chieftain, well, with a way to be able to put pressure back out. We are looking at Fairy Dragons with Mana Flare. All of the production buildings are lost, and now we are going to perhaps see this Tree of Eternity finally fall. Tauren Totem going to end up taking quite a bit of damage. Orc Burrows, well, they should have peons inside to offer a little bit of protection here, as there are still bears putting pressure here. 39 supply over 20. The Tree of Eternity does get taken down, and what is the Tauren Chieftain going to do next? It goes in for a stomp. Tauren Chieftain now sitting at level 5. I'm expecting mass detonation, as the Taurens here could perhaps pulverize and finish off. This is turning into a straight up base race instead, and with no Scroll of Town Portal and nothing to Town Portal 2, things can go from bad to worse. Tree of Life now being constructed back across over here, as we should be looking at a level 5 Keeper of the Grove continuing all of this pressure here. More Ents joining in on the fight, a little bit of gold being mined, but the damage that is being done by these peons perhaps more important than the gold being mined. Fred will have to try and run away with all of these peons, perhaps jump them back inside somewhere else. Will they be able to escape? It looks like they will be able to do exactly that. A couple of purges could make them stop short. However, they are low on mana because of detonation from those wisps, as the units are now in a massive retreat back. At least it's not a mirror match. All right, blue. Yeah, if it was a blue versus blue in a mirror match, I would probably just say no. I'm not casting this game at all. Units now making their way back down. Troll Berserkers, or the Berserkers, now making their way over. Tauren Chieftain with Bloodlust moving around very, very quickly. And it looks like HoT is just trying to prolong this game as long as possible. There goes a Stomp, and that is going to get some damage onto that Druid of the Claw. Druid of the Claw down to 247 hit points. There's the follow-up Purge in order to take him down. Peon's going to go ahead and just jump inside. Extra burrow damage across all of those Dryads. Dryads wanting to back up, as the both Orc versus Night Elf. That is what you saw. Well, good for you. Good eyes right there. Keeping track of the mini-map and knowing which army is where is, however, quite a problem. Anyways, Fred definitely winning out in that battle, having the economic advantage, getting up to Headhunters, and then, well, opening up into Taurens, and then bloodlusted Headhunters into bloodlusted Taurens, and then finally adding in, well, Mastery Witch Doctors for some major healing. Very, very well played. We did not see the Orc or the Night Elf imbalance in this matchup, as Fred takes a game over HoT. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.